Now at 5, how the city of Pittsburgh is using a grant to address homelessness. Plus, the Southeast Kansas Nature Center celebrates 20 years in operation. And
jurors have reached a verdict in the federal gun trial against Hunter Biden. I'm Nicole Skanga in Wilmington with what's next for the president's son.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
City of Pittsburgh's requesting more than $300,000 in federal funding to help address the homeless issue. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Every year for more than a decade, the city is applying for the Emergency Solutions Grant through the Kansas Housing Resources Corporation. The city requests a certain amount of funding. This year they're applying for $300,000 to aid the city's homeless community. Last year, they applied for $450,000, but were granted approximately $100,000.
We have to be more mindful of how much we are helping individuals. We just need to make sure that we are truly helping the individuals that need the assistance.
Funds are going to be distributed beginning on July 1st. Southeast Kansas Nature Center is celebrating 20 years. The center is in Shimmerhorn Park, south of Galena. You can find snakes and salamanders and frogs and turtles and a lot more there. The goal of the center is to introduce wildlife and educate the community about native Kansas wildlife.
They're going to see several native species to this region and lots of drawers and exploration stuff to get into. Lots of hands-on things. We try and make it as friendly as we can to all groups so that they can get into stuff and learn a little bit more about what we've got down here in the Kansas Ozarks.
The Nature Center is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Some Carthage grade schoolers are diving into the world of sea turtles, sorta, in advance of World Sea Turtle Day. Third graders at Steadley Elementary today wrote about turtles and did turtle-related crafts. It's part of their 20 days around the world summer school journey designed to expand the students' horizons and also provide some fun facts.
Over 115 eggs a day for 10 days. They lay it on the beach in sand in a hole, and then they cover it up with sand.
Don't say you didn't learn anything. Another fun sea turtle fact, unlike other turtles, sea turtles cannot retract their flippers and heads into their shells. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney now for a first look at the weather.
Well, today looked pretty good. We had a cloudy day, and as you can see, sun's come back out for that nice afternoon. Temperatures got up to about 85, but across the region a little bit warmer. Out in Nowata 88, Welch 85, Sedan 86, but cooler out east, so 80 in Stockton, 81 in Nevada, 82 in Pittsburgh. Not too bad today. We are going to continue to warm up around in the next couple of days and weekend, and we still have some residual flooding from all of the rain that we got this past weekend, especially near rivers and lakes. But we're going to stay dry for the next several days. We're looking pretty good, and temperatures are really going to start to ramp up now that we're entering the summer season. I'll have those details for you in just a bit.
See you in a few. A jury finds Hunter Biden guilty on all counts in his federal gun trial. The charges stem from accusations he illegally purchased and possessed a gun while he was addicted to crack cocaine. Nicole Skanga reports from Wilmington, Delaware.
Hunter Biden left the courthouse in Wilmington, Delaware, holding hands with First Lady Jill Biden and his wife after hearing the guilty verdict in his federal gun trial Tuesday.
No one in this country is above the law.
Special counsel David Weiss brought the charges against the president's son after a proposed plea deal fell apart last year.
This case was about the illegal choices defendant made while in the throes of addiction. It was these choices and the combination of guns and drugs that made his conduct dangerous.
The jury of 6 men and 6 women found Hunter Biden guilty of 3 felony charges, including falsifying statements to purchase a firearm in 2018 and possessing the weapon while being a drug user or addict. Throughout the trial, the defense argued their client was not using at the time of the purchase and did not knowingly violate the law. This case marks the first time the child of a sitting U.S. president has ever been convicted of a crime and could face prison time.
I think that the sentence here is not going to be unduly severe. This is effectively a first-time offender. The likeliest outcome would be a sentence of incarceration, but for a fairly limited period. We'd be talking a year or two, not 5 or 6.
In a statement, President Biden said he loves his son and will accept the outcome of the case and judicial process as Hunter considers an appeal. Hunter Biden said in his own statement that he is disappointed by the outcome, but grateful for the love and support of family and friends. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
The same judge who presided over that case is going to determine Hunter Biden's fate at sentencing, which is expected to take place about 120 days from today, just before the presidential election. President Biden is touting his administration's actions to curb gun violence in America. Speaking at Everytown's Gun Sense University, President Biden says murder is down this year and violent crime decreased overall by 15% following a major reduction in 2023. He also says there's more to be done, again calling for a ban on assault weapons.
Think about it. They're weapons of war. And by the way, it's time we establish universal background checks. By the way, and require the safe storage of firearms.
The president thanked the crowd for prioritizing gun safety, saying many Americans want to see common sense reforms. Still ahead, exploring the world of food.
Traveling to treat your taste buds is now becoming more popular. I'm Wendy Gillette in Copenhagen, Denmark, with a rise in culinary tourism.
And next in Health Watch, in recognition of Men's Health Month, we're going to have some tips to help men increase their lifespan. Topping today's Health Watch, Gen X is getting some cancers at higher rates than baby boomers and the silent generation. A study published in JAMA Network Open shows people born between 1965 and 1980 have experienced decreases in certain cancers, including lung and cervical, but several others are increasing, including thyroid, kidney, prostate, and ovarian. Study authors suggest this could keep the overall cancer rate high for decades in the U.S. June is Men's Health Month, a time to maybe remind that guy in your life to take better care of himself. The numbers show men do not live as long as women on average, but why do men have a lower life expectancy? Well, Jeff Wagner explains the challenges and how men can increase their lifespan.
It's a well-known fact that men, on average, don't live as long as women.
Why do you think the life expectancy is lower for men?
They don't like going to the doctor or the dentist.
How do you know that?
My husband hates it.
Dr. David Hilden chairs the Department of Medicine at Hennepin Healthcare.
For over 100 years, for pretty much the entirety of the 20th century, men have not lived as long as women, primarily because of heart disease and cancer. The second would be lung cancer, and it's almost exclusively because men smoked more.
Currently, the life expectancy for a man in the U.S. is 74.8 years. For women, it's 80.2, a difference of a little more than 5 years. But back in 2010, the gap was smaller, just 4.8 years. Meaning, despite modern medicine, men have struggled to shrink that difference.
Men are dying at higher rates than are women due to substance use, overdoses, and unintentional accidents.
The COVID-19 pandemic also caused a quick and steep drop in life expectancy.
They had more heart disease, more lung disease, then COVID hit them harder.
Life expectancy is back on the rise the further we get from the pandemic, a number that can keep growing with some simple lifestyle changes.
What are the steps someone can take to increase their life expectancy?
Lead a less sedentary lifestyle.
That could be as rigorous as exercise or gentle as gardening. The point being, get your body moving.
Probably more is attributable to our diets than we realize.
A diet with lean meats, leafy greens, and less processed food is key for heart health.
Stress and mental health. I would really focus on those.
Lastly, see a doctor.
They can help you with your diet. They can help you with your blood pressure. They can help you to stay healthy.
And not just when something is wrong. Jeff Wagner, CBS News, Minneapolis.
As it turns out, white men have a higher life expectancy than black men. Higher doses of anesthesia are no more toxic to the brain than lower doses. Researchers with Washington University School of Medicine looked at more than 1,000 older patients who underwent cardiac surgery. They found the amount of anesthesia used did not change the risk of long-term cognitive decline. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, a look at students looking for summer jobs. We're going to see what industries are hiring the most.
And temperatures are really starting to warm up now that we're in the summer months. I'll have those details in just a bit. Well, we are officially out of severe weather season, but that just means that temperatures are really going to start to warm up. We see highs in the mid-90s by this weekend. Taking a look outside at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, it was a really nice day today, though. Temperatures got up to the mid-80s and it was mostly sunny, but we had a few cloudy moments throughout the day. We're right on average for this time of year with our high being 85. Average high is 85, a little bit lower of a low earlier this morning, but that was going to be our last cooler night for a while. Then we really start to see these temperatures warm up with the lows only reaching down to the low 70s. We still have some remnants of rainfall from the storms this past weekend, so a couple of our rivers and lakes are still in some flood advisories and warnings throughout the area until the next couple of days. But outside of that, we're not going to see a lot of rainfall until Friday. That's when we're seeing some possible showers popping up, but outside of that, we're going to stay pretty dry. We've got a nice southerly breeze, so we are going to start to continue to warm up. Yesterday, our high only got up to about 83, 82. Today, our high got up to mid-80s, so 85, 86 in some areas, even warmer if you are in the southwestern counties. Tomorrow, we're expecting to get up to about 89, and still some of our counties probably reaching 90 degrees. We've got sunny skies, and temperatures are going to continue to heat up throughout the next couple of days. We've got a nice ridge that forms across most of western U.S. It's a very wide ridge, so we're seeing sinking air for the next several days. But as we move into Friday, we do see a few showers starting to pop up. Very light, very brief showers throughout the day, early in the morning, and then they come back around in the evening time. Outside of that, we're going to stay pretty dry. We've got another round of showers coming up next week, but since we're in the summer seasons, we're really not going to see a lot of rainfall. Even with those shower events, it's not going to be heavy rainfall. It's going to be pretty light and brief showers. Now that we're also in summer season, temperatures are really going to start to warm up. So we've been in the 80s, maybe reaching 90 for the last couple of weeks, but now throughout the rest of this week and into next week, we're really getting into the upper to mid 90s, and not to mention with humidity values warming up as well, could just cause a lot more issues with heat-related illnesses. Heat is one of the #1 killers in all weather phenomenon, which it's a very silent killer. You don't realize it's happening with heat exhaustion, heat stroke. So take care of yourself, stay hydrated out there. Try not to spend too much time outdoors in one sitting. So we've got all these temperatures in the 90s. Saturday, Sunday going to be the hottest this week with our high 94 on Saturday, 95 on Sunday. We've got those brief showers on Friday, and then again, some evening showers on Tuesday. Outside of that, like I said, pretty sunny, pretty dry, and pretty warm as well.
Yeah, when you're hitting 90, you know it's summer, whether it's officially summer or not. It's summer.
Exactly.
Lindsay, thanks. Hey, KOAM and Fox 14 are starting a summer food drive as part of our Feed the Four States campaign. Local food pantries have struggled since COVID, so any size donation really does make a difference. As part of our summer food drive, we ask that you bring donations to your local food pantry, either in the form of cash or non-perishable food items. You can find a list of food pantries in the area on our website. Of course, that's koamnewsnow.com/feed. Coming up, we're going to learn about the growing trend of culinary tourism, taking people around the world to treat their taste buds. Topping today's Consumer Watch, scooping ice cream or mowing lawns. Summer jobs are a good way for students to make a little cash and build their skill set. More than 2 million high school and college students are expected to work summer jobs or internships this year. Industries hiring for those right now include leisure and hospitality, retailers, camp counselors, lifeguards, and of course, babysitters. Those last three categories are especially in demand in popular summer communities.
There are some industries that are very difficult to break into, and an internship can be an entry card. But gang, listen, we know how much student debt is a burden, and we know how much kids are really trying to help themselves get a foot forward. So I think paid jobs can really help that.
Summer employment is also a way for teens and college students to build skills and determine what kind of workplace environment appeals to them. They can also challenge themselves to multitask and navigate those customer service interactions and bosses. More Americans are prioritizing food as they plan their vacations. For some, what they eat is the centerpiece, in fact, of their trip. Wendy Gillette reports from the foodie hotspot of Copenhagen, Denmark, where the culinary scene has been serving up innovation for more than 20 years.
Hello. 3 Michelin star restaurant Noma in Copenhagen, Denmark spent more than 2 decades topping lists of the best eateries in the world. Now it's set to end service later this year and become a full-time food laboratory. One of those who launched Noma before stepping away, Klaus Meyer, also helped spearhead the new Nordic Kitchen Manifesto in 2004, which transformed dining throughout Scandinavia.
Nobody believed that humble ingredients from our region could lay the foundation for incredible menus.
This year, 31 restaurants in Denmark were awarded 44 Michelin stars. Globally, culinary tourism was estimated to hit $11.5 billion in 2023 and is projected to grow almost 20% by 2030.
85% of the tourists who come to Denmark and to Sweden and Norway, they come because of the food.
This is one of the restaurants now bringing buzz to the dining scene here in Copenhagen. It's called Alchemist and offers an immersive 6-hour dining experience of 40 courses. That experience begins with a theatrical welcome, appetizers in the lounge, including an edible daisy, and courses served in the dome, where overhead projections match the menu with a message.
We try to create a restaurant that will be more like a platform in society.
There are tens of thousands on a wait list to snag a coveted reservation.
We tried probably 2 years ago with the first reservation where we failed and we failed again and again and again.
Right next door, it's much easier to secure a seat at Unshave, which delivers a true farm-to-table experience in its garden. Visitors can even find fine dining in the 180-year-old Tivoli Gardens. The amusement park is right across the street from the centrally located Villa Copenhagen, where we stayed for a special rate. Perhaps the most unusual chef in the city, Morten Krier-Wolf, does his cooking on a bike, delivering a city tour with his mobile kitchen.
I offer gastronomic rides where we bike together with me as a locomotive.
It's a perfectly balanced 5-course meal on wheels. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Copenhagen.
Getting close to dinner time, isn't it? That bike tour, it costs around $250 a person. The 40-course meal at Alchemist, that's much pricier, just over $700. Reservations open up every 3 months. Final check of the forecast up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, how do you rebuild paradise? A town ravaged by wildfires starts over with new rules. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to learn more about how the city of Pittsburgh plans to use grants to address homelessness. Plus, some Carl Junction residents get together for a summer block party. And how a Missouri Southern golfer helped lead the team to uncharted territory for the program. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports. Why don't you download the KOAM News app? It's absolutely free. You can do it anytime. You can do it right now. Just go wherever you get your apps. Just search for KOAM News app, and there you go. Maybe you've noticed it's getting warmer out there. Hotter days ahead still.
It is. We've got a warming trend going on this week. So we're getting up to mid-90s by Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be pretty hot, especially Sunday, and not to mention humid. Got a couple rainy days there, Friday and Tuesday night. But outside of that, we're going to be pretty dry and pretty warm for the next several months, actually.
Yeah, we've been moving from spring into summer just like that.
Yeah, it did just turn around pretty quickly there.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.